Hello, it's Nikki. Welcome to another character quest video. Today's subject is Venti. This is a big one. This is a big one. This is the first Archon we're doing, so I'm very excited. I know there's going to be a lot, so strap in. It's probably going to be a longer video, but I'm excited. So first up, table of contents. We have the story quest is what we're going to be doing first. Then we're going to be watching all the demos and trailers that miHoYo has released on the character. Then we're going to be reading all their lore and all their voice lines. This is probably going to be a large section, but bear with me. Then theories. So this is probably going to be kind of mismatched because I know there's a lot of theories around Venti, but I haven't watched any of the past events yet. So I don't really know if there's anything that's revealed in those events that would help me theorize about Venti. I will be doing updated videos on characters in the future, so this isn't my final say on these things, but thought I'd just mention it. Next is the character log. This is a staple on this channel. We always have a character log at the end of every video where I kind of give my thoughts on the characters and my opinions and where I think they're going and their arcs and personalities and relationships and all that good stuff. So enjoy. Is this that child that always freaking runs into me when I'm in cutscenes in this part of the map? I think it is. What's she doing? She have like an imaginary friend or something? Did any of you have those? I didn't. I guess I was just boring. Oh, Lumine did? That's cute. What the heck? That's what we just said. Aww. We don't hang out anymore. Yeah. Oh. They both had imaginary friends. Ooh. You just ran up on us. Oh. We're describing it? Near Nama? Oh, okay. Oh my gosh. That's kind of creepy. That is kind of creepy. Oh Lord. Well, it works though. Why are we... Should you be trapped in a windless land? Floaty-headed? Paimon, you are so fucking rude. She's a child. Of course she's not like... Of course she's kind of unfocused sometimes. She's a child. Gliding will never get old. Like, I still to this day love wind gliding so much. I will wind glide even if it's inconvenient. I will glide because it's so fun. All right. Not Venti calling her floaty-headed too. Floaty. Suck it up. Did any of you ever try to like jump from somewhere high, like with an umbrella, and like fly with the umbrella? I did. Don't do it. It doesn't work. In case any of you were wondering. Oh, okay. Actually, I'm pretty sure I thought I heard this name before. Oh, okay. Venti's... You shut that down. I guess. Interrogate Venti. Timmy. Watch Timmy's imaginary friend just be like completely out of pocket. Like I'm expecting like a large pigeon or something insane. Oh. Okay. That's not what I was expecting at all. What the fuck? What the fuck? Wow. Like we're just like 6 feet away from him, just staring at him. We're not gonna approach him? Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Wait, we're not even gonna go say hello? Oh my god, we just... That's true. I can't believe we just walked like 6 feet up to him, just stared at him, and left. Poor Timmy. Poor Timmy. Okay, is this... I'm assuming this is Deluxe's Tavern that we're going to. Alright. Ooh. Everything's loading in. Drop in on the adults in the tavern. Okay. Wait, what? They're not in the tavern? Okay. I didn't mean to do this, but I guess they're not in the tavern, even though it says drop in on the adults in the tavern. Are they like in the back or something? Oh.
酒というのは
Okay.
やはり酒場で飲んだ方が楽しめるな。
They're drinking together? I didn't know the Rag Bros did this.
一人でも楽しく飲んでるじゃないか。
Okay, it's a little tense.
そう冷たいこと言うなよ。
I mean,
ここで酔いつぶれない方がいいぞ。
okay, you could say it's like tough love. He doesn't want him overindulging. That's not a bad thing. Look at his face.
まさか酔いつぶれたら人身売買にでも売られるのか。
Kaya! Don't put words in his mouth. He didn't call you trash. Oh.
お前はよく物を売るじゃないか。父さんの旧宅だってお前が売ったんだろ。
Oh my god, Kaya! In front of the men, in front of these two men, you're gonna air out the family laundry? Oh gosh.
使えないものを手元に置いていても
Wow,
仕方ないだろう。
so they had a separate mansion aside from the winery. Right?
あの
Is that
花
what
瓶
they
も売
meant?
ったのか。
No! Kaya, he has it! He has the vase. He kept it, baby. Daluke! Oh my god.
でもディルックスのご
What a
自宅には
bash these two brothers'
確か
heads
華やかな花
in.
瓶が置いてあったような。
He's outing him. They're so stubborn. They just need to fucking communicate. That's all they need to do. It's like openly, genuinely communicate.
大人には空想の友達がいないんだな。
やっ
No.
ぱり子供心が足りないからかな。
大人になると夢のないやつになるのか。おいらは大人になりたくないな。
Well, I think they dream. It's just
そういえば
Different.
少年少女の空想の友達は何歳までいるのかな。
I think that definitely varies. Okay. Glad we got to sit in on the tea though over
エレン
here.
はどうかな。あの年なら想像力が完全に消えるってことはないと思うけど。
もし見えてなかったら嫌だな。
Okay. Can we talk to them? Do they have extra dialogue? Let's see. You know what? But first, we need a picture. God, they just need to communicate. Like, they're so mean to each other. They just need to be locked in a room, is what needs to happen. They need to be locked in a room with, like, some snacks and, like, some water and some drinks. And just to fucking talk it out. That's what they need to do. And they're not allowed to be let out until they work through their shit. But dang, they were taking chunks out of each other in that conversation. My God. But you know, family's tough.
探索機で僕の空想の友達を見るつもりだったのか。
Well, when you put it like that,
ただ、たとえ15年前に戻ったとしてもいない。
you know what? That actually falls in line. He doesn't seem like the kind of kid who would have had an imaginary
空
friend.
想の友達。ほう。お前たちそんな面白いもんを調べてるのか。
Of course, he would think it's
酒を飲ん
fun.
でなかったら一緒に調べてやりたいくらいだぜ。
Kaya! Daluke, make sure he gets some water, okay? And maybe some like bread to soak up the extra alcohol. All right, you two behave. I'm going now, but you two behave. Life is hard enough as it is, okay? Promise me, both of you idiots. That made me so happy to see them. I know it was very brief, but I will eat up any interaction they
お前っ
have
て本当にせっかちだな。
because I want the best for them. They don't deserve to be alone. Okay, is this gonna be a kid? Wait, isn't this a grown woman, or at the very least, like someone who's in their like early 20s or? Oh, that's weird. That's weird. That's weird.
団長だ。なんでここにいるんだ？
Wait, I thought Paimon couldn't
エ
see
リンの空想の友達は
the imaginary
ジン団
friends.
長なのか？
How, did we say that it was Jean? How did she know? That's really weird
真面目だな。
that it's Jean.
おいらびっくりしたぞ。
That's weird.
こんにちは。私に何か？
Even if she's like
ずっとここで剣の
17
練習を
at
して
the
るのか？
youngest, right?
ええ、今日スタンレーさんの冒険の
That's
話
still
を聞いたんだけど、とてもすごくて、私もいつかスタンレーさんみたいなすごい人になりたいな。ジンと肩を並べて戦いたいからかい？もちろん騎士にだってなりたいわ。ジン様と一緒に冒険に行けたら、もっと素晴らしいもの。
Because like having a crush is totally fine. And understandable, Jean's amazing. But the imaginary friend thing is
そうだ、栄誉騎士。せっかくだから
Bizarre.
現実の練習に付き合ってほしいんだけど、
oh.
どうすればこの杭たちを同時に破壊できる
At
かな？
once?
残念。壊すまでの頑張り
Oh.
どうすればこの杭、そうやればよ。
There we go.
すごい。はあ、ありがとう。やっぱり私まだまだみたいね。どういたしまして。でもエリンはもう十分すごいよ。
Well, that's nice.
練習で疲れを感じるのは半人前の証拠。でもいつか
頑張れ。きっとできると思う。
ありがとう。まずい。練習にでももう疲れ。栄誉騎士、ジャックに伝言頼めないかな？
Who's
ジャ
that?
ックは私の友達で、新米今夜一緒に冒険の計画について話し合う約束をしてた。多分彼は今日ダンディライオンの神殿で冒険してると思う。
Oh,
スタンレー
Lord.
さんはモンドの有名人で、
How did I know it was all gonna wrap back around to Stanley? I miss that place. Alright. That was strange.
ディライオンの神殿か。
Oh!
以前風魔流事件で
Oh, sick!
探索
Okay.
したよな。今は冒険者たちの冒険場所になってるってことは、
You get to test out
前
Venti.
回お宝を全部手に入れてなかったってこ
Look
と
at
か。
him. Oh. That is a fancy bow. Alright. I am not that good with bow users, but wow. That's a very pretty bow. It doesn't really match his outfit though.
行き止まり。先に進めなそうだな。
Hold E to charge and generate a wind current.
見てて。尻肘の中を歩くものは
Ooh.
風で航空まで届け
Oh.
られる。
I did it too far away. I like how he twirls up. There we go. All right, let's see what he does. Ooh. Cool.
足元に気をつけて。
Cool. Oh, cool. Ooh. Very cool. He's very fun. Oh, I saw an explosive barrel. I got me the fuck out of that corner. There we go. I like how flippy he is with his bow. He's very twirly and flippy. He sounds so out of breath when he runs. Alright, I remembered from Jean that the swirl... Oops. I'm stupid. The swirl... shreds the shields. Sorry, this is giving me way more trouble than I thought it would. Ooh, it shoots the electro at them too. Woo. Not Jack clapping like that. Oh.
死ぬかと思った。確かにあと少しでそうなるところだ。そうだ、君が冒険者のジャックだね。
そうだけど君は？
お前を探してたんだ。
エリンから伝言を預かっててね。今日は冒険の計画について話し合いそうにないから。
So we fought our way to you to tell you this information.
ああ、そうなんだ。申し訳ない。ここまで来てもらった上に助けてもらうなんて。
Wait, isn't Stanley like a legendary adventurer? Why was he in this situation? Alright, sit your ass down.
お前がモンドですごく有名な人弱界に行ったことがある伝説の大冒険者だ。
I'm so curious about that place they keep mentioning. Okay. Well.
こんな伝説級の人に会えるなんて嬉しいね。じゃあみんなこれからどうする？先に進む？それとも戻る？
先に進もう。
Let's check in with
スタンレー
Jack.
さんもいるし、きっと大丈夫さ。
じゃあ全員
I don't know about
一致ということで
that since you got into trouble already with him by your side.
お前たちも俺の冒険の話を聞きたいのだ。
Okay.
いや、ジャックを探しに来ただけだよ。
Venti's like, no.
何？バカ者よ。俺はこのモンドで
Oh
最も
my
有名な冒険者
god.
スタン
Shut
レーだ
up, please.
知ってるよ。
いや、もう少し何かあるだろう。俺は生きた伝説、人弱界にたどり着いた勇士、スタンレーだぞ。
なあ、わかったわかった。そう何回も言わなくていいって。
本当だよ。スタンレーさんはめちゃくちゃすごい人なんだから。
引き続き俺と俺の仲間の話をするぞ。ジャック、さっきはどこまで話したんだったか？
伝説の人弱界には風が少しも吹いてなくて恐ろしかったってところまでです。
そうだ。あそこは耳鳴りがするほど静寂に満ちているな。目に見える海は全て怪人でできているんだ。そこで俺の仲間が魔獣の起こした渦に巻き込まれてしまってな。すぐさま俺はそいつの腕を引っ張った。
うわ、大丈夫だったんですか？
残念だが再び故郷の土を踏めたのは俺一人。
The gentle breeze carried away the tears welling up in my eyes.
そんな。
ジャック、お前は大冒険者になるやつなんだ。そうやすやすと涙を
What does
流すな。
what does being a great adventurer have to do with not crying?
僕たち冒険者にとって最大の目標は冒険の道中で死ぬこと。そして絶対に風のない場所で死んではいけない。風に乗って魂をモンドへと連れ帰ってもらうためにも。
Aww.
その通り。俺たちの理想は風のある場所で死に、風に乗ってモンドへと魂を運んでもらうことだ。
Wow.
まあ今の僕は下水道に隠れるスライムを片付けるレベルの依頼しか受けられないけど。
なんで風のない場所で死んじゃダメってことを強調してるんだろうな。
Yeah, I'm curious about that too.
まさか風のない人弱界が最も恐ろしい場所だってことを
Shit.
スタンレーは言いたいのか？
I'm reading the.
こいつはどう？
I was reading the.
おとなしくしやがれ。
I was fighting by muscle memory and reading the subtitles. Alright, that lost me Beto, but it's okay. Oh god. No! Oh no. These stupid hoops. I hate these things. Oh, okay. You know what? That wasn't so bad. That wasn't so bad. Oh lord. Okay.
足元に気をつけて。 逃げようなんて
Let's
思わない
see.
でよね。
Oh, I guess it doesn't suck them in. Oh.
つまらなくなってきやがった。こいつはどうだ？
Oh boy.
よっ下がれ。さあみんな
Ah.
先に。
ざまあない。
Damn. All right. That did not go smoothly.
小さな発見があったんだけど、観測器をつけてみてくれるかい？
Oh.
Went on her page and seen her pictures. I said, "Oh, jump scare!"
What the hell?
スタンレーにも空想の友達がいる？
彼の友達はベテランの戦士みたいだ。体中傷だらけで表情も毅然としてるね。
Yeah.
おや？君もそう思ってたのかい？
Wasn't that hard to pick up
どう
on?
やらスタンレーの話には何か秘密があるみたいだね。
じゃあ俺は先に行くぞ。
Leaving? With whose protection? Where are you going?
はい、スタンレーさん。君たちちょっと時間あるかな？実は数日前、スタンレーさんが酔っ払って秘密を教えてくれたんだけど、スタンレーさんが当時冒険で使っていた武具はなんと大英雄バネッサ様の遺物、きらめく勇気の剣としかもこの2つの武具は今もモンドにあって、どうやらダダウパの谷にあるみたいなんだ。君たち強いし、一緒にこの2つの武具を探しに行ってくれないかな。すごい人は多少変わった癖があるからね。もしそんなすごいものを見つけたら、きっと両親も僕の冒険者になりたいっていう夢を今の僕じゃ実力はまだまだだし、両親にも反対されてるけど、お願い
Oh,
だ。
that sucks.
どうか助けてほしい。こんな身勝手な考え、スタンレーさんには言えないから。でも
かわいそうだな。おい、芸能野郎も来るか？
Oh, come on.
一昨年一つ手に貴重な名刺を手に入れたんだ。武具探しを手伝ってくれたら、その先を君にあげよう。
Oh, God.
ダダウパの谷だね。全は急げだ。すぐに出発しよう。
Oh, Venti. I knew he was like lurking somewhere. He left so randomly and so abruptly. All right. Ignore how half my party is dead. I don't know why that gave me so much trouble. I think I was just being lazy and reckless.
あそこにいるヒルガールたち。
The ceremony.
息をしてるな。
I hate these dudes that come out swinging like that. It's so annoying.
間違いない。きっときらめく勇気の剣だよ。
All right. Retrieve the Sword of Brilliant Valor. What a fancy, fancy name.
ほら、これがきらめく勇気の剣だよ。
本気か？ただの古い剣だぞ。
Well, if it's an old sword, there's no way it's
ヒル
gonna
ジャールの
look
やつら。
new.
なんでこんなもの
Especially if it's from
に
like
祈りを捧げてたんだ？
how many years ago?
おそらく
And if no one's been keeping it sharp or cleaning it, of course it's gonna rust
この
over.
剣を入れただけだろうね。
ボロすぎる。それに何と言えばいいか。
Swords don't just magically maintain themselves. You have to like actually maintain the sword for it to stay in good shape. Of course it's in terrible shape.
いや、ジャック、君はモンド城外にいる風象帳を見たことないかい？
What?
ああいう蝶も昼間は目立たないけど、夜になると目がくらむほど眩しくなる。まるで空を飛ぶ宝石のようにね。勇気だってそういうものだろ。平穏な人からしたらその価値は理解できない。けどいざ苦境に立たされた時、勇気だけが君を奮い上がらせ、窮地を脱する唯一の光となる。
Excellent recovery.
間違いない。これがきらめく勇気の剣だよ。
じゃあこれで剣は見つけたし、あとは盾だね。この辺りを探してみよう。きっとダダウパの谷のどこかにあるはず。
あれ？あそこに誰かいるぞ。
スタンレー？どうして彼がここに？
様子が少し変だな。
Okay, I'd say so. Did he not see
なん
him?
でもないよ。コインをばらまく宝刀医たちが通っただけさ。
Then you probably wouldn't be a good adventurer if you didn't spot
君は
that.
武具を探しに来たんだろ。そんなもの見る必要はないよ。
What kind of fuckery is going on here? Cut a deal with the Hilichurl. That's the shield?
ほら、あれが輝く石の盾だよ。
Okay. That's not what I was expecting.
嘘つけ。どう見てもただの木の板だろう。ボロボロだしタガで補強されてるぞ。誰があんなのを盾に使うんだよ。
しかも酒のシミまである。まるで酒樽から適当に取り外してきたような。
でも僕の銀融詩人としての勘があれこそ輝く石の盾だと言ってるよ。
Does it now, Venti?
戦士は体にある傷を誇りに思うように盾も同じさ。 盾が綺麗だとそれは戦場で使われてないってことだ。ボロボロな盾こそ百戦錬磨の証拠じゃないかい。
Okay.
ボロボロになっても戦場で最後の一瞬血がなくなるまで戦い抜く、そんな意志こそが貴重だ。そうだろ。
Venti is in top form today.
綺麗な盾なんてないもんな。じゃあヒルチャールに輝く石の盾を譲ってもらう
We're
方
gonna
法を考えないと
communicate?
な。
Oh my goodness. This is probably gonna go one of two ways.
こんにちはヒルチャールさん。
Look at his thighs. Why are his thighs that muscular?
やっぱ大間に任せる。聞いたことあるヒルチャール語を試してみて。
Hilichurlian, how on earth?
ボディ
Body
ーランゲージ
language?
向上してみよう。
Oh shit, there's a friendship bar? Fuck.
ご機嫌だな。
Did not appreciate that. He didn't like that either?
ご機嫌だな。
What?
だぞ。
わかった。ちょっとだけ歌うね。
Okay. Oh, okay. Good, good. Yes.
落ち着いてるし。
Okay.
続けていいと思うぞ。
Yeah, okay. I guess they like singing. They do like to dance, so
まずい。怒り出して。
wait, what? What? I don't understand. It said that he looked cheerful, and then the very next moment, it said that we ticked him off. So, I don't know. Okay. Well, you should have just frickin' listened to our song. Oh,
輝く石の盾を置いて逃げたぞ。
I tried, y'all. I tried to be diplomatic, okay? I
あり
tried.
がとう。本当にありがとう。やっと欲しかったものが揃った。父さん、母さん、珍奇を見つけたよ。
Poor Jack. A moment of silence for Jack.
待ってよ。約束のお酒はここまで大変だったんだよ。あれスタンレーじゃないか。
This
こん
is
なところで散歩か。
just stop. We know you're there.
銀融詩人か。奇遇だな。お前らも散歩か。
Stanley, stop. You're embarrassing.
食後の散歩ついでに友達の探し物に付き合ってたんだ。
スタンレーは嘘つきかも。
Oh, yeah, you're
ますます
just picking up on
怪
that?
しく思えてきたぞ。ジャックを傷つけないためにあらかじめ剣と盾を置きに来たのかもな。
大冒険者はダダウパの谷に詳しいよね。何せ
当然だ。目を閉じても迷子にならない自信があるぞ。
なるほど。君の記憶力と根性には感服するよ。
大冒険者だからな。それくらい当然だ。ここにはヒルチャールがたくさんいるから、お前たちこそ気をつけるんだ
We'll
ぞ。
be okay. We'll be fine.
ではまたな、若者たちよ。
Okay.
やっぱ怪しいよな。
仕方ないよ。ジャックにあんなことを言ってしまったんだから。
Ooh.
でも改めて見ると実に面白い。過去を忘れたくないから今を捨てた人。もし彼が未来への一歩を踏み出さなければならなくなった時、その一歩はどこへ向かうのだろう。
どういう意味だ？
This is an interesting side of Venti.
ただの独り言さ。そうだ、今夜はエンジェルズシェアに行ってみよう。
Okay. I like hanging out with Venti. There's definitely an underlying wisdom to Venti that he very easily hides under this frivolous bard facade that he has. There's a couple moments where he even reminded me a bit of Zhongli, where he like looked out of the corner of his eye or he said something very sobering, you know? And then of course the next moment he was like smiling and making jokes, but there's definitely a sharp wit underneath everything, which is very intriguing to me. Sit behind Stanley. Oh Lord.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Sorry, the way that was framed was funny.
どうすればいいか教えてくれ。
Dang, dude's really that... He's that deep in it.
自分の名前を呼んでるんだ？
それはないかな。スタンレーが2人いるなんて僕も聞いたことないもん。
Oh.
スタンレー、あの時人弱界で死ぬべきだったのは俺だった。なぜお前の名前を語ってるのに俺はお前の魂をつなぎ止められないんだ、スタンレー。
That's considerably sadder than what I was expecting.
新米の俺をかばわなければあの風のない場所でお前が死ぬことはなかったのに。
Oh wow, windless corner.
お前には偉大な大冒険者の肩書きがある。でもクズの俺なんかのためにもう伝説になれないなんて。
これは一体どういうことだ？
多分
That's really
彼
sad.
は本当に人弱界にたどり着いたんだろう。そこであった危機も本当のことなんだ。ただ彼と共に冒険をした仲間こそが本物の大冒険者スタンレーだったんだよ。本物のスタンレーは僕たちの知るスタンレーを助けるために
じゃあこのスタンレーがスタンレーと名乗ってるのは？
そういうことだと思うよ。
スタンレー、もう何年経った。モンドの人々が
Oh, this is why he boasts all the time.
俺はあちこちでお前の話をした。
That's so sad.
俺はモンドの人々にお前を覚えていてほしい。スタンレーが人弱界にたどり着いたこと、そして偉大な冒険者であり彼が生きていると。スタンレーは死なない。なぜなら俺がスタンレーだから。すまないスタンレー、俺も年を取った。年を。お前たちいつまで盗み聞きしてるつもりだ。
Oh shit.
まずい、気づかれた。
So was that him just confessing to us then? This is very sad. I was not expecting this.
何も聞かないでくれ。一人にしてくれ。でも行け。
らんぞ。
よきし、ウェンティ、それとパイもよかった。みんなここにいたのか。
Uh-oh.
あちこち探したよ。お礼を言いに来たんだ。君たちが剣と盾を探してくれたおかげで。
おや、それは本当かい？
本当さ。金を出してきらめく勇気の剣と輝く意志の盾を直すと言ってた。
それはよかったね。それでジャック、君はモンドを離れてテイワット大陸を旅するのかい？
いや、しばらくはモンドにいるよ。今の僕の実力じゃ遠くへ行けそうもないから。それにスタンレーさんの話をもっと聞きたいからさ。なんたって彼が僕の夢のきっかけだから。スタンレーさん。ああ、また酔っ払ってる。また明日、スタンレーさん。
You fell asleep that
ま
fast?
たお話を聞かせてくださいね。
スタンレーはジャックのことが気に入ってるんだろうね。
ジャック、ジャック。
ジャックならもう帰ったよ。
そうか。俺の秘密を守ってくれてありがとうな。
あ？急に現実を見るようになったのかい？今までの君らしくないね。
俺はさっき彼を見る勇気がなかった。
Oh, he hid from him by pretending to be asleep.
何の雑念も含まれてないからな。俺は疲弊した嘘つきだが、あの子はまだキラキラと光を放つルーキーだ。だからこそその夢を壊しちゃいけない。
嘘つきってこともないだろ。だってスタンレーの冒険や経歴は全て本物だから。
冒険、経歴、実はな、今となっては冒険のこともスタンレーの記憶ももうはっきりとは覚えてないんだ。
Oh.
これこそが俺の最大の秘密であり、最大の恐れ。ここ数年、俺は彼の話を伝えるために生きてきた。俺が唯一忘れられないのは、彼が風のない人弱界で死んだこと。そして、風が彼の魂を連れ戻せないことだ。
That's horrible.
そうだね。本当のスタンレーは彼の記憶の中にある生き生きとした友達とは違う傷だらけの戦士として彼の人生の全てを束縛してるんだ。
俺は年を取ったんだ。いくら拒んでも俺は役立たずだ。だが冒険者はこんな形で死んではいけない。
ハンス・アチェボルド。
Oh.
なんで俺の名前を。
I just got chills.
風、人弱界で求めても得られない風の音だ。俺はずっとあなたの存在を信じていた。
旧友の魂任せてくれないかい？
Oh my god.
不思議だ。
That was so beautiful, and I had genuine chills.
ありがとう、バルバトス様。すまない。気持ちの整理に少し時間が必要そうだ。でも、きっと俺は大丈夫だと思う。
めでたしめでたし。スタンレーは本当の自分を見つけてジャックも自立できた。お
Wow.
めでたいことがたくさんあったら祝杯をあげてお祝いしないとね。
このままこの酒場で飲む気か。
Wow.
ここのお酒は高すぎるからね。それにジャックがくれるって言ったお酒がまだでしょ。
I'm sorry I'm being so quiet. I'm just like still so stuck on all of
後で
that.
いつもの場所で落ち合おう。
The usual place. What?
いつもの場所ってどこだよ。おい、待ってってば。銀融野郎。
Wait, usual place. Do we meet up with Venti often? Head to the usual place. Oh! Diluc! Wait, what's he doing here? I didn't know he was... Oops. Well, I need a picture. Okay. Let's see if Diluc saw any of that.
スタンレー
He did.
この数年彼を束縛していたのはその友人本人ですらなくなっていた。しかしその友人の話はきっとモンドで忘れられることはないだろう。
That's kind. Wow, Diluc is so fucking observant. I love that they added this in.
このしかし
That they had him in here to witness that. And that they thought to put in a little bit of dialogue for him. Wow. Wow, the attention to detail is insane. I love it. Yeah, I'm sorry I was quiet during all that discussion with Hans, I think his real name was. But I was so taken aback by the somberness of that entire exchange and how Venti was so gentle with him about that. You know what I mean? And not that Venti's like harsh usually. Oh. Oh, and the hands. That's so cute. How is this the usual place though? He makes it sound like we've been here with him before. Have we? Did I just miss it? But yeah, it's not that Venti's usually harsh, but he was very, very gentle with Hans. Ooh. Aww. I need to take a picture after this. Okay. I did.
わかりにくかったぞ。次はこういうのやめてくれよな。そうだ、銀融野郎、酒は手に入ったか？
手に入れたよ。ジャックのやつ貴重な名酒って言ってたけど、結局ただのアップルサイダーだったよ。懐かしいな。初めてここで景色を眺めた時、僕はこの姿じゃなかった。
What?
だいたい2600年くらい前かな。
2600 years ago.
まだ七神の管理下に置かれていなかった時代。
Oh, wow.
あの頃、旧モンドは暴君が吹き起こした暴風に囲まれていて、鳥すらも行き来できなかったんだ。
Whoa. Big lore drop. Yeah, but not in this much detail.
かつてあの高い塔を統治した風の暴君は
Decabrian, god of
竜巻の魔
storms.
人デカラビアンだ。あの時の僕は千の風の中の一つで、神でもなく人の姿でもなかった。
Wow.
風の中の些細な元素の精霊、小さな天気と希望をもたらす風だったんだよ。
Wait, a little elemental being.
人の姿じゃなかった。あれ？銀融野郎、昔はこんな感じじゃなかったのか？
うん。今の僕の姿は実はあの偽物のスタンレーと同じ友達のものを借りたんだ。
Oh, what? What?
僕が話す物語は旧モンドの始まり。あの暴君が治めた国で僕はある少年と知り合った。 少年はライアーをつまびき、自分の歌を探していた。しかし彼は風の壁の内に生まれ、青空を目にしたことがない。鳥の飛ぶ姿が見たい。少年の眼差しは強く、瞳には光が宿っている。しかしその声は風の音にかき消された。なぜなら竜巻は惨禍のみを受け取り、他の音を残さないから。本物の空、鳥かごの外にある詩と歌、それは戦うに値する願望ではないだろうか。だから少年は僕を誘ったんだ。僕と共に暴君を倒し、風の壁を壊そうと。少年は反抗の旗を掲げ、僕も自由を求める戦争に身を置いた。鳥かごを破る者たちは勝ち続け、真意は崩れ、旋風は乱れ、国々は震えた。荘園の中、僕たちは暴君の結末を見届け、怪人の中、僕たちは高い塔が崩れ落ちるのを見届けた。こうして新しいモンドが始まって、それから誰も王座に登ることはなかった。
Wow.
その後は
That was beautiful.
お前の友達、その後どうなったんだ？
He didn't make it.
パイモン、その後の話が知りたいかい？
当たり前だろ。もったいぶらないで早く教えてくれよな。
Oh wow, Lumine's gonna try and spare her?
なんで急にリンゴなんか食べたくなるんだよ。
お腹が空いたんだね。
仕方ないやつだな。
ああ、君は賢すぎると僕はたまにそう思ってしまうよ。
Wow. That's very
でも
intriguing coming from
友達
Venti.
の間ではこういう暗黙の了解があった方がいいのかもしれないね。ビッシュ、そよ風、こういう時はいつも思い出してしまうんだ。彼から教えてもらった歌をね。
Wow. First heard from
飛べ
him.
飛べ、飛ぶ鳥のように僕の代わりに世界を見て、僕の代わりに高い空へ。
Wow, that was beautiful. That whole last segment. Wow, okay. Quietly gazes at Venti. The green-clad figure is uncharacteristically silent. Sometimes even the lissom wind grows heavy in its grief, but not that mortals could ever see a moment oh so brief. Wow. That was very profound. All of Venti's sentiments. Wow. I'm stunned, honestly. I was not expecting this at all.
One millennium ago, when the aristocracy fell at last from grace, the defender of the South banished tyranny from the city gates, while the West spread her wings and took her rightful place. The wanderer in the North settled with the Wolven race. As the four winds blew, to all corners they flew, but much was to be done to build Mondstadt anew. The animal god called on them, each one in turn. First their leader, the West Wind, though he found himself spurned. The Lion Fang Knight was less than impressed. I've no time to join you and sing, dance, and jest, for you see to these three while I handle the rest. Next did he track down that leader of wolves. Asked him to tame his most unbridled of souls. The wolf leader growled he would not be contained. Do not lecture me, Bard, you who are the least restrained.
True.
So the animal god implored the friend he'd known first to blow the ice from the face of the earth, that verdance and freedom could once more be birthed. But the dragon had known his bard god friend too long. He would not share the work, but dictate it through song.
Do some real work, Barbados.
Oh my gosh.
There's an archaic tale to be told, that of which is of an ancient one. that of which traveled among the gods, that of which beheld lands undone, seas spun. Oh, how chained to your daily toiling you are. Must you intrude on a bard's leisure time?
Ooh, the violin. Oh, he's using a different bow than he did in his quest in the trial. This one looks much better on him, in my opinion.
Some notes can't be played for just anyone. Lest the high winds blow you away.
Ooh.
Rhythm take you. It's more than language and poetry that flow with the wind.
That was so hype.
A mysterious bard named Venti has recently appeared in the world, singing tales for the city of freedom and romance. This city is Mondstadt, the crown of the north, a free nation with no ruler. This once bitter cold land in the north of Teapot is now fertile, a blessing left by the god of Animo, they say. 1,000 years have passed since the god of Animo left this land. But to me, it has only been half that time.
Come on, traveler,
half.
let's go. The world is full of lost ballads just waiting to be rediscovered.
As an archer with the power of Animo, Venti can battle with ease in almost any environment. His versatile attack style and his ability to launch enemies with his elemental skill allow for a high amount of mobility in battle. His unique elemental burst can pull together nearby enemies, making him a strategic character who can both deal damage and control the battlefield. When Venti is in your party, gliding consumes less stamina for all
that sounds
characters.
very useful.
Needless to say, this skill will come in handy on your adventures.
Poor Aether.
Take Venti along when exploring the beautiful open world. Normal attacks can perform up to 6 consecutive shots. The first and fourth shots can
I like
fire
how they
an
called it
extra
divine archery.
ammo, while the
So
sixth
fancy.
shot deals greater damage. Hold the attack button to use a more powerful aimed shot. When fully charged, an Animo-infused arrow is fired and deals even more damage to the enemy. Call upon the wind on which hymns and songs fly to lift your enemies up into the sky. When you use the elemental skill Skyward Sonnet,
Not the
Venti
narrator
summons a
rhyming
wind
too.
domain at the enemy's location, dealing area of effect Animo damage. Enemies are launched into the air and fall slowly to the ground. Hold Skyward Sonnet to summon an even larger wind domain around Venti, dealing greater area of effect damage and launching enemies into the air. Venti also uses this powerful wind to fly high into the air. Adept use of this skill not only allows you to attack enemies,
You can like avoid.
but also dodge attacks and move around the environment.
I didn't think to use that in that way.
If the opportunity presents itself, you can also use a plunging
I did
attack
use that,
from above. Wind domains can even be utilized to
This
help you get around.
sounds so useful for exploring.
After unlocking the talent
Being able to,
Embrace of
like, do this
Winds,
on any
holding
surface.
Skyward Sonnet will also create a temporary upcurrent as you fly into the air. By firing an arrow infused with coalesced winds, Venti creates a fierce storm that sucks in surrounding enemies and deals Animo damage.
I don't know anything about the meta,
Contact
but I
with
feel like
hydro,
Venti is a
pyro,
very
cryo, or electro elements causes the
strong
storm to absorb
character
that
to
element
have,
and
is
deal
what I'm
additional
gathering.
elemental damage. The storm can only absorb one element each time. After unlocking the talent Storm Eye, Venti's energy will be replenished at the end of Wind's Grand Ode. If an element was absorbed, the energy of party members of that element will also be replenished.
Oh.
Even though Venti is more than capable of handling different obstacles in battle, strategic party selection and teamwork can help you maximize Venti's abilities. First, use Divine Archery to attack enemies from afar and whittle away at their health. Use Skyward Sonic to launch dangerous enemies into the air. Gather up energy to prepare for the final attack. When your energy is full, unleash your elemental burst. Wind's Grand Ode sucks the enemies in and deals animo damage. Use another element on enemies in the storm to generate a swirl reaction. Then use another compatible element to cause an elemental reaction. Causing another elemental reaction brings the battle to a swift end.
Wow. Very handy.
As we all know, poetry and language flow like the wind. Venti captures this spirit in his ballads. Flora and fauna he sings of seem to have a life of their own and transport us to the moon and the stars. This self-proclaimed best bard of the mortal world gets his strength, his unwithering inspiration from the wind. But what Venti seeks in life is not eternal fame for his ballads. Rather,
I like the
he'd be
homage
happy
to
with a
like
cup of
cherub
wine and a lyre to
art
sing the marvelous stories
from like
of the
classical
world.
European
Yes, that would
murals
make
and
Venti
stuff.
the
It's like what I'm
bard
getting is
very
that like
content
cherub vibe.
indeed.
Very cool. So this is, I think, the Windbloom Festival trailer for 1.4.
So, traveler.
I can't wait to watch
Mondstadt Windbloom
these.
Festival. Do you like it?
Look at all the flowers! Oh my gosh! Wow! Wow.
Come on, put your skills to the test.
Oh no! Bubbles, the bane of my existence!
Come enjoy the Windbloom Festival.
Go adventure with you? Just like we do if
These
I
are
was
coming,
on your
by the way. I
adventure
will be
team?
doing these too.
Could I ask you for some guidance on my chivalric training?
I'm still feeling quite uncomfortable.
Baby Changyu!
I feel much better now.
Well, it's a little embarrassing to say, but... look out!
Unofficial
Aw.
business?
How's the research going?
Oh, that was so cute.
Don't
Oh,
overdo it. Let me take care of the dirty work.
oh, is this when they introduced Rosaria? Ooh,
I hear you've got a job for me.
she's so cool. I want to know more about her, but
Lights out.
oh, this is the quest we did. We will be reunited, I think. Yep. Yep. Wow. Okay, so they were hyping this up in this trailer, I guess. I'm still not over this. Okay, so this is just, okay. Extra little bits. Is there anything? Oh! Wait a a minute. Is that DeLuke in a fucking bartender outfit? No. No, I can't believe I missed this. Oh my gosh, look how handsome he is in his little outfit. Oh my gosh. Venti. Venti is a playable Anemo character in Genshin Impact. He is a free-spirited, wine-loving bard in Mondstadt and the current mortal vessel of Barbados, the Anemo Archon. Okay. June 16th is his birthday. This is his constellation, Carmen D? I don't know how to say that properly. A buoyant breeze is his specialty dish. Wow, okay, released the first year the game came out. Alrighty, let's go into his lore. A bard that seems to have arrived on some unknown wind sometimes sings songs as old as the hills and other times sings poems fresh and new, likes apples and lively places, but is not a fan of cheese or anything sticky. When using his Anemo power to control the wind, it often appears as feathers, as he's fond of that which appears light and breezy. This is from the official website. Okay. Let's go to character stories. An unknown bard that came from nowhere. He sometimes sings outdated songs, other times he hums new ones that none have ever heard of. He likes apples and lively atmospheres, but hates cheese and anything that's slimy. Okay, I think we just read this. When channeling Anemo, it appears in the form of feathers because he likes things that look light. Okay. Friendship level 2, character story 1. Back when traveling bard Venti had only been in Mondstadt for a few months, his income was far less than the other more established bards in town. But once he had a few more in the pot from his performance, you could be sure he would hurry off to spend it at the same place every time, one of the city's taverns. Unfortunately for Venti, his childlike appearance meant that his attempts to acquire alcohol failed at every turn. The first time he was refused service, he was heard grumbling, "I'm sure there were no such preposterous regulations last time I was here." Once he realized that the same rule applied to all taverns in town, he decided he would have to change his approach. The strategy he developed was drinking on the job, that is to say, playing the lyre while holding a wine cup in his mouth, and urging his audience to buy him a drink from the bar if they liked his performances instead of giving him more. Oh my god. The novelty of this made him quite popular in Mondstadt. There was just one snag. He couldn't help but sneeze if a cat came close, and if he happened to be holding a wine cup in his mouth when it happened, needless to say, it would spell disaster. Venti, therefore, has one golden rule when selecting a spot to perform, and that is that there must be no cats in the vicinity. Easier said than done. The stray cats of Mondstadt seemed to be quite drawn to him. Character story 2. There is a towering oak tree at the center of Windrise, said to have sprouted when Vanessa ascended to the heavens a millennium ago. In the past few months, travelers resting in the shade of the great oak sometimes hear a young boy singing the tales of Barbados, the Anemo Archon. Unlike the ruling deities of the other nations, Barbados has long left Mondstadt. In fact, the only visible proof of his connection with Mondstadt is the statues of the seven that appear across the land. Even then, the resemblance is vague at best. Fortunately, Barbados' past deeds are recorded in books and epics, sung and passed on by the bards. In contrast to these more canonical works, Venti's ballads tend to include bizarre adventures and acts of mischief, such as the time that Barbados pinched the Cryo-Archon's scepter and replaced it with a Hilichurl's wooden club. Oh my fucking god. Worshippers of Barbados are quick to decry these frivolous tales as blasphemous fabrications, but whenever someone confronts Venti about it, his response suggests that he has not an ounce of remorse. How can you know that they're fabrications? He has a point. Even the most devoted sister could not possibly know the details of all of Barbados' deeds from a millennium ago. Only Venti knows the truth behind his song lyrics, and it is a truth he hides behind an enigmatic smile. Reason being, yes, Venti's tall tales of Barbados' unorthodox exploits are entirely fabricated. I seriously can't with him. Like, what is with the thing about the scepter with the Cryo-Archon? The scary Cryo-Archon that everyone's so worried about and everyone's like doesn't know anything about. That one? That one he messed with? Oh my god. Hey, Venti finds that a few drinks really gets his muse going. Can you really blame him? What a little prankster. What a little prankster. Okay. Character story 3. Around 2,600 years ago, the Archon War had yet to end, and the world had yet to fall under the dominion of the Seven. In those days, the city called Mondstadt was surrounded on all sides by gales of impenetrable, even to the birds of the air. Wait, what? Was surrounded on all sides by gales impenetrable, even to the birds of the air. Okay, that's a strangely worded sentence. The wind's ceaseless howling ground the soil and the rock of that city into smooth, flowing dust. The Lord of the Wind, who lived in his high tower, was Decabran. You know what? Actually, let's just look up this Archon War stuff. The Archon War was an era of various power struggles between gods that began several thousand years ago for unknown reasons, although scholars in Teapot believe it began over 7 divine seats in Celestia. Okay, while different regions settled their power struggles at different times, the era drew to a close 2,000 years ago after the final seat was claimed. With an end of an era came the establishment of the new order under the 7 Archons. Okay, determine 7 elements, determining their method of governance through their ideals and shaping their nations. Okay, let's just look at the 7. I hope this isn't going to spoil anything. Typically shortened to the 7 are the 7 gods who preside over the 7 regions of Teapot. Each Archon is associated with an element and an ideal, but by which they formed their territories, environment, and determined their method of governance over their regions. Okay. Each Archon has an internal magic focus called a Gnosis, which allows them to resonate directly with Celestia. By comparison, visions are primitive. Oh, interesting. Though what exactly a Gnosis is capable of, as well as its purpose beyond a symbol of an Archon's godhood, is unknown. Oh, of an Archon's godhood, not the other way around. And we don't know what anything is about. Okay. History. The Archon War began an indeterminate time in the past and ended around 2,000 years ago. Okay. Oh, wait. Hold on. There's like a bunch of stuff down here that I think I do not want to read because this might be spoilers. Okay. You know what? I'm just going to be safe. I'm just going to be safe and no. No. We won't because I think this is I'm seeing stuff about like stuff I don't know. So we're gonna just be safe. We'll come back to it another time because I don't want to spoil myself. They determined the 7 elements in Teapot. Okay. All right, overview. How or why the Archon War began are currently a mystery. Gods were able to coexist relatively peacefully before the war began, so the circumstances that triggered the Archon War are currently left to speculation. The logistics of the war are also unknown, such as how the nations were divided or how the victors were determined. According to Soraya... Oh, wait. Actually, okay, yeah, I remember doing this quest in Liyue. Okay, yes, I remember her, and I do remember her talking about this. The war began as a struggle over the 7 divided seats in Celestia, both for supremacy and to see their plans for a prosperous humanity to come to fruition. However, not all gods participated in the war with the intent of taking a divine seat. Some wanted to defend their territory while others didn't even want to fight, and tried to save as many people as possible from the destruction of the war. An alternate explanation is that the death of gods removed divine seats that previously existed in Celestia, and the 7 were either gods who kept their seats by prevailing over the others, or were beings who ascended to godhood after defeating gods of old. Decabrian's death resulted in the crumbling of an ancient seat of divinity, while Barbados ascended to godhood and became the Anemo Archon. After the 7 were established, most defeated gods fled Teapot and took refuge in the Dark Sea. What the fuck is this? The Dark Sea is a term that refers to any location beyond the continent of Teapot, not within Teapot's boundaries, those who dwell here. Ooh, God. Little is known about this area beside the fact that it is outside of Teapot. Despite being called a sea, this term also encompasses land masses. In the ancient past, parts of the land now known as the Dark Sea were inhabited by the Seelie, like the little Seelie we follow, who built palaces there. While some Seelie also dwell in Teapot, their palaces are said to stand in the wasteland beyond the dominion of the Seven, which is inhabited only by the grotesque, ghostly remains of fallen gods. Following the end of the Archon War 2,000 years ago, many of the defeated gods who survived chose to flee to the Dark Sea instead of living under the new order of the Seven. However, it is suggested that the gods who fled have also died since then from reasons unknown. Uh-oh. What's this? Uh-oh. Is this spoilers for something? I don't recognize this word. Nor this. Okay, we're gonna backtrack. Okay. Dark Sea lands outside of Teapot, where the Seven have no dominion, where they became known as evil gods. Some gods, however, chose to cooperate with the Seven, and he became important figures such as Andreas. Oh, okay. Mondstadt, 2,600 years ago, in the midst of the Archon War, the city of Mondstadt was located northwest of the current location, what is now known as Stormterror's Lair. Back then, there were two warring gods, Decabrian, the god of storms, and Andreas, the king of the north wind. The entity who would become Barbados was but a wisp of the wind, an elf. An elf? What? When was that said? With little to no power, an elf? Like Klee's elf ears? Like that kind of an elf? What? At that time, Mondstadt was a wasteland of ice, snow, and endless icy blizzards, almost impossible for humans to live in. This was all caused by Andreas, who gained his powers from an ancient and likely deceased god. In order to protect his people from the cold, Decabrian enclosed the city into a wall of storms, letting nothing go in or out of it. Andreas declared war on Decabrian, but was incapable of landing even a scratch on his tower. For his part, Decabrian seemed either uninterested in or incapable of defeating Andreas, and was content with keeping his people safe. Unbeknownst to Decabrian, however, his people felt trapped and worshipped him out of fear, which he mistook for genuine devotion. During his time as the young bard, okay, I think I know who this is. The Nameless Bard was a boy who lived in Mondstadt 2,600 years ago. During the time of Decabrian's reign, befriended the Wind Spirit, who would eventually become Barbados. Okay. Trapped within the Lord of the Tower's storm wall, he yearned to see the world beyond it and bonded with the Nameless Wisp. Okay, the Nameless Bard led the rebellion. This was part of the lore we got in the manga. Decabrian's former lover, Amos, a knight and a red-haired warrior. Wait, a lover? Hold on. What's this? Amos was an inhabitant of Old Mondstadt. Oh, this person right here. Oh, she was just barely snuck in. The lover of its ruler, Decabrian, the god of storms. However, she would later come to participate in the rebellion against him, during which she presumably lost her life. She was the wielder and namesake of Amos's bow. Oh, interesting. Wait, when was this said? Is this in a book or something? From what we could be seen of her in the cutscene, she had long white hair. Amos was genuinely in love with Decabrian, but she eventually realized that he ignored her pleas and wishes to see the outside world. This led her to participate in the rebellion against him, during which she believed that she would finally hold his gaze. However, after he brutally and likely fatally attacked her, she realized he never loved her the way she had loved him. For some time, Amos was Decabrian's lover. However, she came to realize, okay, at some point she befriended the Nameless Bard, the Wind Spirit, a knight who may have been Gunhilder, and a wandering red-haired warrior. Together they led a rebellion. Gunhilder, red-haired warrior. I think this is Diluc's ancestor from the cutscene. Yeah, it's a spitting image of Diluc. Wow, key member was friends with the Nameless Bard, Amos, and the unnamed knight, possibly Gunhilder. The red-haired warrior was a wanderer. Okay, you know what? We'll read more about this when we research Diluc. Together they led the rebellion against Decabrian, scaling his tower to fight him personally. It is suggested that she was slain alongside the Nameless Bard. Okay, following the battle, the Wind Spirit ascended to godhood and became Barbados. Gunhilder remained by his side and personally crowned him with laurels, but the warrior had a fallout with Barbados after his ascension. That is sus. That is very suspicious. Huh. That's not what I expected. Because we're referring to Duluth's ancestor, I think. Venti's use of the bow may be in memory of her. Oh! As he assumed the nameless bard's form, the lyre playing, he uses the bow to honor her. Interesting. She appears to be left-handed. Okay. I guess not much is known about her, but that's fascinating. Maybe this is in some book in-game or something, because I didn't get this at all. The rebellion succeeded and slew Decabrian. However, Amos and the bard were mortally wounded. Okay. We've read this. After the bard died, the wind spirit ascended to become Barbados. Barbados' first use of his powers was to create a vessel, Venti, in the nameless bard's image to pay homage to him and live in the world he never had the chance to see. Oh, that's really sad. And it was sad, and I think it hit me harder too, like during the quest. That really hit me hard, because Venti is never like dour or sad, but man, he was sad in that last bit of the quest, wasn't he? Okay, he also saved the Gunhilder clan, who had left Decabrian City to live in the frozen wasteland, and their resulting faith empowered him. Oh, all right. Eventually, Barbados, I think I was correct about predicting that he was the wind spirit that protected the Gunhilder clan. Eventually, Barbados and the nameless bard, alongside Decabrian's disillusioned lover Amos and an unnamed knight, raised an army against the god of storms. They eventually emerged victorious. Okay. Unfortunately, both Amos and the bard were among the casualties, causing deep regret for Barbados. After Decabrian's demise, Barbados claimed a divine seat in Celestia, becoming the first and only Anemo Archon among the seven. Andreas, despite holding tremendous power, was aware that he was ill-fit for the role of a loving Archon who could nurture humanity, as he found humanity, or human society, to be a disappointment and only accepted abandoned infants and outcasts as his kin. Believing himself unfit for the position of Anemo Archon, Andreas chose to disappear. In his final days, he realized that his icy blizzards can only destroy life, and decided to let his power flow into the land of Mondstadt instead, putting an end to the icy storm. Barbados' first use of his powers was to take the form of the young bard as a way to honor him. After that, he used his wind powers to shape the land to make it prosperous for his people. Oh my gosh. Teaching them the values of freedom. He then left the people to themselves, refusing to rule them directly and risk becoming a tyrant himself. Instead, he journeyed through Teapot, often paying visits to the Geo-Archon Morax of the neighboring nation of Liyue. During the Archon War, you know what? No. We'll read that when we cover Morax's video. Okay, around, wait. Yes, okay, let's look at Decabrian, just so we're thorough, okay? Decabrian, also known as the god of storms, the lord of the tower, and one of the kings of ice and frost. Ooh, that sounds mysterious. Was a god who lived over 2,600 years ago and founded the nation of Mondstadt. He was particularly protective of his capital city, located in the area now known as Stormterror's Lair, and enclosed it within a storm barrier after Andreas declared war on him. His city was organized methodically, and he thought his reign to be a good one. What he did not realize, however, was that his people were not content in their windy prison and sought to see the world outside his storm barrier. They saw him as a tyrant and eventually rebelled in the name of freedom, putting an end to his reign. With his death at the hands of the rebels and Andreas's voluntary death, the nameless wind spirit allied with the rebels ascended to godhood and became Barbados. Alrighty. Lord of the Tower. Little to nothing is known about Decabrian's origins or his history before his war with Andreas. At the height of his civilization, his territory spread through the Bright Crown Mountains and Windwhale Highland areas, with a major settlement around Cecilia Garden. Based on architectural evidence within Stormterror's Lair, his city used to lead outwards towards the northeast and northwest. The northeast gateway has since been blocked off by a mountain, while the waterway at the northwest gate has been dammed, separating it from the rest of the river. This suggests that the city previously had contact with currently unexplorable regions of Teapot, but was presumably closed off after the start of Decabrian's war with Andreas and the creation of the storm barrier. The Age of Kings. Andreas and Decabrian's conflict was but one of many conflicts during the Archon War. In Mondstadt's history books, this period of Mondstadt's history came to be known as the Age of Kings, with the two gods referred to collectively as the Kings of Ice and Frost. Oh, okay. It is unknown when they began fighting, but 3,000 years ago, the war had already begun. So they were conflicting for more than 400 years before it ended 2,600 years ago. During the Age of Kings, the Land of the Wind was a giant frozen wasteland as a result of Boreas's power. To protect his city from the blizzards, Decabrian surrounded his capital city with a wind barrier that barred both exit and entry, and was strong enough that not even Andreas and his immense power could land a scratch on it. In Decabrian's eyes, he had given his subjects a city free from the bitter cold. But to his people, he was a cruel, selfish ruler who had locked them in. Decabrian's desire for control over his city led him to micromanage it to the point where every resident's living quarters was determined for them, and banned certain chords and tunes that might indicate any kind of resistance. Largely disconnected from his people, Decabrian did not seem to be malicious in his actions, but did not understand humanity and their needs. He believed that his people loved him as he loved them, but his understanding of love was not close to how humans experience it. At a point, he even had taken on a human lover named Amos. However, she soon realized that he did not love her in the way she loved him. When looking down on his subjects, he believed that they were bowing to him out of adoration, respect, and willing submission. However, his people were doing so not for the Archon, but because the harsh winds in the capital had forced them to. 2,600 years ago, frustration over Decabrian's rule laid the seeds of resistance. To avoid Decabrian's watchful gaze, the freedom fighters used the wind bloom as a symbol of solidarity. Eventually, those seeds of resistance blossomed into a rebellion. It was led by a group determined to challenge Decabrian and liberate Mondstadt, consisting of the Nameless Bard, the Nameless Wind Spirit, or Elf, Decabrian's former lover Amos, a knight whose identity varies, and a wandering red-haired warrior. Some years before the rebellion, the Gunhildr clan left the city after growing disillusioned with Decabrian's rule. As they struggled to survive the blizzards outside the city, Gunhildr's prayers were answered by a weak wind spirit who managed to gather enough power to give them a safe haven. This built the clan's faith in the wind spirit, and their faith then empowered the wind spirit even further. While this wind spirit is not identified, it may have been Barbados. Okay, so that's what I guessed. When the rebellion began, Gunhildr and her clan participated on the side of the rebels. At some point, likely between Gunhildr clan's departure from Mondstadt and the start of the rebellion, Andreas came to the conclusion that life in Mondstadt could not flourish so long as his powers engulfed the land in blizzards. This, combined with his belief that he could not be a good ruler for humanity and was thus unfit to become the Anemo Archon, led Andreas to choose death. His physical form dissipated while his powers flowed into the land to protect it, putting an end to the blizzards in that encased the region of Mondstadt. It is unclear whether Decabrian was aware of his nemesis' death or not, but the storm barrier still stood by the start of the rebellion. The rebels emerged victorious as Decabrian was finally slain, with his death detonating part of his tower. With the god of storm's death, his barrier dispelled, revealing a clear blue sky as the rebels saw the world outside the city for the first time. However, this victory came at a price. Amos and the Nameless Bard were among those who died in the fight against the old god. With both of the Mondstadt region's gods dead, the Wind Spirit ascended to godhood as Barbados, the Nemo Archon of the Seven. Barbados used his newfound power to take the form of the Nameless Bard so he could play the lyre as the boy had, and may have taken up the bow in memory of Amos. While Gunhildr celebrated Barbados' ascension, the red-haired warrior was less pleased about the development and left the newborn god's side. Interesting, Barbados reshaped the land of Mondstadt, blowing off the snow and ice with his winds and terraforming the land in the process. He and his people then moved to Cider Lake to create the city of Mondstadt, leaving Decabrian's city abandoned. Wow, legacy. When the kingdom of Conria prepared for a war against the gods, they developed the Field Tiller, a prototype ruin guard with vast amounts of combat power. This Field Tiller engaged Andreas' spirit form in battle, where it was eventually heavily damaged. Okay, this is what happened. This is summarizing what happened in the quest in like the very beginning of the story. So I don't think I need to read through all of that. But the fact that the red-haired warrior, who I'm assuming is Diluc's ancestor, I mean, it literally looked just like him in the montage, the art montage we saw, left He was less pleased that Barbados ascended. Interesting. Well, let's go back to Venti's character stories. Okay, we stopped reading around here. Okay, this lad knew how to play the lyre and longed to write the greatest poem of all. I do so wish to see the birds in flight, so said the boy who had never seen the blue sky, eagles, or the green grass, his voice almost utterly drowned by the wind. Friend, will you not come along? Oh, that's so sad. The elemental being Venti obtained the feather of an eagle for the lad living in that storm-shrouded city who had never seen a bird in his life. Then war broke out in Mondstadt in the name of freedom. With the feather tucked away in his breast pocket, Venti watched the fall of the eccentric ruler amid the wreck and ruin of revolt together with his friend. The ruler had believed that he had given his subjects a city free from the bitter cold, and to the end he believed that they had loved him as he loved them. Yet, despite the victory, Venti was never able to give that feather to the lad, for that lad had fallen in the battle for the sake of song, sky, and birds, and for the people who, like him, had dwelled within the storm wall. With the crumbling of an ancient seat of divinity, a new god was born. The Anemo Archon Barbados felt power flowing at his fingertips. His first use of his power was to reconstitute himself in the likeness of that young lad, for only if he wore human shape could he play the lyre that the lad so loved. Plucking its strings, he scattered the ice and snow and split the mountains with a divine wind. He bade Mondstadt become a city of freedom, a nation without a king. In future, he believed it would become a better, more romantic city. Surely, he too would have wanted to live in such a place. Thus, a new age began for Mondstadt. Wow. Jeez. The Anemo Archon cannot take credit for everything in Mondstadt. Credit should be given where credit is due. I shall sing now the praises of things beauteous and true. We thank the west wind, whose enduring caress brings the blossoms of spring, by whose scent we are blessed. Finches, ducks, rabbits, and boars, Mondstadt's revival bid them thrive evermore. In summer the lion walks the plains. No words one finds to praise it but these. Do you sweat out your water to make way for wine? Comes the heat of the summer from your mane of sunshine? The mountain mouths and gorges low like drunkards wayward lie. But the east wind cares not, for it doesn't walk, it flies. Over the fruit trees it brushes low, and its wings bring the harvest of things that grow. The north wind in the silent forest slumbers, and around it pace the wolves in their numbers. Though most have never a glimpse of them seen, for the wind knows that none is of winter too keen. Yet the Anemo Archon glimpses and sees that it dreams each night of warm reverie. As the four seasons in turn shall say their piece, so the four winds too shall never cease. Of course, to look at it differently, I am the one who should be credited here and not they. Credits should begin where credits belong. If not for the bard who pens the song, then who shall ensure that these tales are passed on? Oh my god, Venti. Where the wind doth not blow. After 1600 years of history, Mondstadt's freedom had sunk to a heretofore unseen low. Oh, this is the manga stuff, I think. Barbados, unwilling to become a tyrant, had departed, but he had never imagined that those to whom he had gifted freedom would make for themselves a tyrant. The aristocracy ruled Mondstadt with a cruel hand, bringing slaves into this land and ignoring the cries of the oppressed. Thus the Anemo Archon returned after these 1600 years to what was once the City of Freedom. He heard the cry of the slave girl Vanessa, and together with her raised a rebellion that overthrew the aristocracy. Now, the above is what all know to be the official history of Mondstadt. The story has an interesting, little-known twist, however. The one who united the people of Mondstadt in this conflict was indeed the hero Vanessa, but that which caused many of the aristocracy's troops to turn coat was a treachery against the wind. A secret treaty was found, a betrayal of the city. The aristocrats had forsaken the wind and sold everything in Mondstadt to the Geo-Archon of the neighboring land. What? At the treaty's end was carved an insignia inimitable by all save the deity so named Rex Lapis. How the soldiers that had once oppressed the slaves shuddered when they saw that they too would become slaves in a foreign land. Yeah. Wonder how that worked out for you. The news and the conflict spread like wildfire, consuming the aristocracy. It was only many years later that historians would discover that this treaty was fake. Oh, what? It was fake. As it turned out, Venti had once practiced the art of forgery in order to play pranks on the Geo Archon, but could never deceive the god of wealth and transactions. Even so, his adeptness would come into play after several hundred years. What a happy coincidence. He did what? I mean, that's really clever. But the fact that it's because he is so used to it because he plays pranks on fucking Morax is hilarious. The 7 Archons do not need visions, for they already have great power, yet Barbatos was fond of the mortal world and wanted to roam Mondstadt more freely as Venti. As such, he constructed a glass ornament very much like the visions worn by those chosen by the gods. The imitation has no special abilities, nor does Venti rely on it to channel elemental power. However, since Venti does not keep the Holy Lyre by his side, and since he is too lazy to bring a normal lyre, he gave his fake vision the ability to turn into the wooden lyre. Der Fruchtling? I don't know how to say that correctly. But wow, okay. I love his little trick with Morax. That was funny. I mean, slaves isn't funny, but you know, interesting how he cleverly undermined that situation. Okay, let's listen to Barbara.
Venti's voice is amazing, but all the songs he sings and the ones I'm good at are very different. I tried to learn them, but the melodies are just so complicated.
Okay. Diona.
Venti? I'm not familiar with him. He's a bard? Oh, he must be that guy who sings tunes to entertain the drunkards. Well, then I don't like him. No.
Okay. Oh, Eula.
I heard that bard
okay.
sing a few songs about the Lawrence clan. They were light-hearted and funny stories that mocked the clan in a way I've never heard anyone else do. Even I couldn't help but burst out laughing. And for this, he must pay.
Okay. Okay, there was a little bit of humility in that. Interesting.
Venti, the bard that sits around doing nothing all day?
What's so interesting about him?
Sure, I guess I can take a look. Huh, that's weird. The scryglass, I can't see a thing. This wind, I can't open my eyes! No! My hat! My clothes! Stop! The wind's going to strip all my clothes off! Make
What?
it stop! Make it stop! Alright, I'll never do this again!
What the heck was that about? What the hell? Strip her clothes off? What the heck? I guess it was just a warning or something. Ooh, the Shogun. Okay.
So the animal Archon still goes by that name among mortals these days. Truth be told, from the very first moment I met him, I could somehow sense that we were not going to get along. Also, he sure can drink a lot.
I wonder why you wouldn't get along, Miss Shogun. I wonder why. Yeah, I wonder. Okay, Razor.
Razor doesn't know poems, but Lupacol likes them.
What the heck? Razor's voice is so different in English. Whoa, okay. Like a total different vibe.
There's something extremely interesting about this bard. I can't quite put my finger on it. There's something that makes him different from the others in Mondstadt.
Look at Rosaria being on top of shit. I love it.
Paimon finds that hard work heartily works here in Mondstadt.
Why do you say that?
Just look at Huffman from the Knights of Favonius. He does his best at
Wait.
his duties.
We already listened to this one. Okay, we don't need to listen to it again. I think we listened to it in the last video.
Everyone says that Mondstadt is the land of the wind. But I wonder which direction the seasonal winds come from.
Why don't we ask Venti?
He'll probably just dodge the question with a or something.
True. The animal Archon is just a tone-deaf bard. What does he know about the wind?
The disrespect.
Mondstadt is full of wide plains and rolling hills. People say that when Barbatos made this land, he used the storm to flatten the cliffs and valleys.
Still, It looks like you missed a few spots.
Like Star Snatch Cliff?
Exactly. On the map, it almost looks as if it was meant to be the apex of a vertical structure, but ended up at the wrong orientation.
What's an apex?
That's interesting. Or she's just fucking
On the
around.
way back to Mondstadt after rescuing Dvalin, we finally got to see one of the 7 Archons, didn't we? It was interesting to see what kind of god he was.
Haven't we known Venti for quite a while now?
As Venti, yes. But still, this was the first time that we got to see him as the Animo Archon Barbados. Normally, he hides his true divinity behind the facade of a bard. What does freedom really mean when demanded of you by a god? That was the question that he asked Dvalin. I'm still contemplating that. You know?
Oh, I do know, Lumine. I do know. All right, about the windmills.
Mondstadt has so many windmills, doesn't it?
Well, the city is built above water, so it probably relies on windmills to draw the water upwards.
That's correct. The winds blow through Mondstadt all year, so this supply of water is very stable. Also, the windmills are what they call visible winds, and wind chimes are called the audible winds. Paimon guesses they can be thought of as mascots and prayers to the Animal Archon for protection.
That's rich.
Ah, mascots. So, like you then, Paimon?
No, not at all. They're made of wood, and you can't eat them in an emergency either, because all you'll do is grind your teeth down.
I don't know what to say to that.
I really like how there's like world building on Mondstadt with the windmills. That's cool.
It never stops raining on Yashiori Island. I heard it's because of the lingering evil energy.
Evil energy? What's that? Sounds terrifying.
It's caused by the remains of an evil god somewhere on the island. Because its power hasn't fully dispersed, the remaining energy causes all sorts of misfortunes. That's what I meant when I said evil energy.
Oh, that makes sense. But Paimon doesn't think rain is a bad thing. Maybe that god has been crying all this time because they were bullied.
Crying? I don't think gods can cry. I mean, I've never seen Venti or Zhongli cry before.
In front of you.
There are exceptions. If you pinch Paimon, you'll be able to see a crying god.
Pretty sure Venti cried when his friend died.
Are you a god?
Paimon sure is.
Okay, let me guess. The flying god of silly questions? The god of slimes? Or the god of being fished out from the water?
Gross.
None of those. As your bodyguard, Paimon is the god of protection.
That's sus of you, Paimon. The god of protection. Is she kidding? Is she kidding? We don't know.
Venti? So that's the name he goes by. His tunes are... forget it.
Okay, that was dismissive, but on brand. Zhongli, what does he think about Venti?
It reeks of wine.
Oh.
That bard has just been through here, hasn't he?
Ooh, his voice is
drunkard
deep.
is a disgrace to the arts. Oh. Has he tricked you into getting drunk?
What?
You're slurring a little.
What?
Wait a moment. I'll brew a pot of sobering tea. It'll be ready in only 6 hours, so just wait a moment.
6 hours, Zhongli. It's good. We're gonna be sober by the time it finishes brewing. Wait, I love this like banter with him and Venti. I want to see more of it. What? Why are they so silly with each other? The two original of the 7 being absolute like college bros. That's so, I love it. I love it. I love to see it. Okay, well, also I've never heard Zhongli's English voice before, and that was very, very cool. You know what? I'm seeing Ursa the Drake. This is part of the manga, but let's just look at this, was a draconic creature plagued Mondstadt over 1,000 years ago until it was vanquished by Il Dottore. Wait. Was this in the manga? Am I forgetting? Oh. Okay. Backing out of that real quick. I'm pretty sure there were spoilers over there. You know what? We'll just read about Ursa. While Vanessa's tribe was wandering the wilderness, they one day ran afoul of Ursa the Drake. It hounded them for 4 days, starving them and forcing them to seek refuge in the city of Mondstadt. Though they were safe from Ursa, they found themselves enslaved by the tyrannical aristocracy that now ruled the city. 10 years later, Vanessa raised the ire of Barca Lawrence, the heir to the city's ruler, Lord Lawrence, when she protected Venti during, okay, this is the manga. Lord Lawrence purchased her and her clan, then imprisoned her and forced her to fight 12 battles for her freedom. Her final battle turned out to be against Ursa the Drake, and her clan would be fighting with her, with Ursa and its hilichurls on one side and Lawrence's archers on the other. Vanessa despaired about their certain death, but pressed on anyways. At this moment, Venti revealed himself as the Anemo Archon Barbados and appeared to help Vanessa subdue the dragon, forcing it and its army to flee. 4 years ago, on Diluc's 18th birthday, he and his father, Krampus, were returning from Angel's Share to Dawn Winery when they were suddenly attacked by Ursa. Even Diluc was unable to land a scratch on it. But Krampus managed to drive it away by using a delusion, only to be slain by the delusion's power when it backfired on him. Unbeknownst to Diluc and Kaya, who came to help them shortly after its departure, Ursa's attack was instigated by a metal bug placed by the Fatui. Erach, an investigator in the Knights of Favonius, told Diluc to take the credit for defeating Ursa, claiming that the Knights of Favonius' reputation would be hit if people discovered that a mere businessman had done the deed. Enraged by this statement, Diluc resigned from the Knights. Erach then took the credit for himself. Okay, then Jean reported it. We read this last time. Okay. Ursa's death. An unknown time after Krampus's tragic death, Dottore slew Ursa. This incident indebted Mondstadt to Snezhnaya and forced them into a less favorable position. What? Did I miss that from the... Was that in the manga and I'm just not remembering? Okay, I don't want to know. I don't want to read any... This trivia might have spoilers in it. I'm seeing a lot. Okay, I'm seeing some of the other Archons being named here. We're gonna come back to this another time because I don't wanna spoil anything for myself. So let's go to voiceovers and listen to these.
That was a refreshing sleep. Traveler, we meet again. What? You don't remember me? Well, allow me to join you on your quest once again. I must see to it that the bards of the world tell the traveler's tales.
What? Remember me? What?
Sure, I'll play you another tune, but it'll cost you an apple.
Okay.
Right now, I wish I was sitting at the top of a tree, looking out over a meadow, cider in hand. Come on, traveler, let's go. The world is full of lost ballads just waiting to be rediscovered. Let's go jumping in puddles and see who can make the biggest splash.
I like jumping in puddles.
It stopped raining already?
I relate.
A shame. I wanted to play some more. Let's wait till the snow gets heavier and have a snowball fight.
I also enjoy snowball fights.
The wind has returned. Quick, let's go gliding.
I have a feeling me and Venti would get along.
Morning. What's in store for today? My tummy is rumbling, but I can't get caught pilfering food from the Dawn Winery again.
Again?
Oh, it's you! Where are you heading? May I join?
Oh my gosh.
I'm still not sleepy. Fancy an evening stroll? Off to the land of Nod? Farewell, my friend. Practice? Me? There's no need. I already know every song in Tevat.
It's Tevat or Tevat?
I've decided to write a song about you. What are you giving me that look for? Can't afford it? Don't be preposterous. The price for you, my friend, is precisely 0 mora. Although, one thing you could do is tell me a few more of your stories.
He's cute.
Once the heroine in the song has actually rescued the prince, I will ensure this song spreads to every corner of the continent.
Oh, is that talking about our sibling?
An evening breeze really sets the mood for becoming my disciple, don't you think? We can do it right now. You just need to make me a small offering.
Your disciple, Venti.
What's that? You think I should try harder to be a good Animo Archon? Well, you could be a better devotee too. You could be more pious, more passionate, or...
Wait, is it Animo or a Nemo?
You want to know about my vision? Oh, go on then. Take a look for yourself. I can make you a matching one if you like.
Oh, goodness. Matching friendship bracelets.
That's how the Hilly Churls say hello. Why, I learned it to aid with my songwriting, of course. Vast knowledge makes for a richer composition. That said, I haven't actually written any songs in Hilly Churlian so far.
Oh, gosh.
Traveler, have you ever seen a Caesalia? It's a magnificent white wildflower that only grows on the most remote mountains and cliff tops. To me, at least, it's the most beautiful flower in all of Tevat.
Wait, is it Cecilia or Caesalia?
Acting Grandmaster Jean. Well, what do you think of her? Yeah.
Okay, wait, we've already listened to this one.
I'm not surprised you want to befriend Master D-Luke. Just think of all the vintage wine he must have stored away.
Oh my god.
Huh? He doesn't let you sample it? Not even the slightest drop? Huh. Well, I guess you can still appreciate the aroma. That's still better than no wine at all, right? No?
No?
The darling deaconess with the sweet singing voice. Do you know her? You do? Idol, huh? Meet and greets? Concerts? Wow. That's the power of music for you. Ah, yes. The white-haired fellow from Wolvendom. Raised by wolves. Really? No wonder his scent is so familiar.
Scent? Okay, Kazuha also mentioned something about scent. Is that like an Anemo thing? The Anemo boys?
That astrologer? How should I put it? Fortune-telling and my singing are the same. Both lead to you being so poor you can't even cough up the money for a drink.
Oh my god.
You think that astrology is a cultural tradition, so at least still has some value? So rude. In that case, so too is singing, so it still has its value too. There's a special drink known far and wide at Cat's Tail, but it, how about you go and fetch one for me? I'll be truly thankful, I promise.
Oh my gosh. Him in the frickin' cats.
How do you explain white chalk and black soil, or the Earth's dense crust amidst the emptiness of space? Same reason the purest soil gave birth to human life. It's an ancient power with unmistakable properties. Trying to harness it is dangerous indeed. I can't imagine what would happen if someone lost control of it in the city. Never mind. What goes on within Mondstadt's walls is up to Mondstadt's people to deal with.
What the actual fuck was all of that? What? Oh, I haven't met Albedo yet, but good fucking god, what does this mean? Ancient power creating human life. Okay. Let's see
what. Have you seen that gentleman around? Huh? He's just a normal man by the name of Zhongli now?
Zhongli?
That must be quite the change for that old blockhead. Come with me to see him, will you? I have a vintage I dug up from Windrise that I can take as a condolence gift. Oh, did he still seem strong when you saw him? How strong? Am I likely to get blown away?
What did he call him? Zhongli, like John. And also, I love their relationship. Oh my gosh.
Eula has good taste when it comes to beverages of the alcoholic variety. Come summer or winter, she always likes them ice cold. That's rare among Mondstadters these days. She and I would make great drinking buddies. Huh? My songs about the Lawrence clan. She's heard them already? No harm done. Maybe she and I can do a duet sometime.
Interesting. Okay, so this is the Raiden
So, I hear you
Shogun.
defeated the mighty Raiden Shogun? I recall the days when she was a Kagemusha, seeking to perfect her martial prowess. She now no doubt employs a wide range of reasoning to get you to train with her. Oh, but yes, come close and I shall let you in on her weakness. Desserts.
Well, that's one thing I have in common with her then. Weakness for desserts.
The first thing you think of when you hear Dendro Archon is her power over dreams. Her dreams are akin to my ballads, full of emotion and imagination. It goes without saying that we get along really well.
All right, about Venti.
Perfect timing, traveler. I was about to ask you, what is your greatest wish?
I wonder what the traveler's
There's
greatest
never
wish.
a dull moment traveling with you. The only minor inconvenience is that pesky little pixie thing that follows you everywhere. She never stops eating. I can't begin to imagine how much you spend on food.
Pixie? Okay, I'm assuming... Okay, yeah. I'm assuming this is Paimon, but he called her a pixie. What?
The Pyro Archon is a wayward, warmongering wretch, and the Geo Archon is a brutish, blundering buffoon. How do I know? Because this is written in the epic poems of days gone by.
Wait. Wayward, warmongering wretch. Wayward, wandering. I know that says warmongering, but wayward. Okay, and Geo Archon is brutish. Okay, but I something's tickling my brain a little bit here. The Pyro Archon is a wayward, warmongering wretch. Did it? Okay, don't, crucify me. But wasn't, the red-haired knight, red-haired warrior, this dude, didn't he leave after Barbados was crowned the Archon? Wanderer. Yes, wandering. He was discontent with Zacabrian. Okay. Let's see. But didn't he left once Venti was crowned, didn't he? Alongside Knights pop up. Okay, choosing okay, godhood assuming for reasons not completely clear, the red-haired warrior then turned his back on Barbados. Is this completely out of left field? Is this out of pocket of me to be connecting these two dots here? It's heavily implied that the Ragnabinder clan are his descendants, though the clan takes its name from Ragnabinder, who, like the red-haired warrior, raised the flag of rebellion against the tyrannical aristocracy. So the red-haired warrior isn't Ragnabinder. Diluc's ancestor, is that what I'm gathering? And in the manga, the people with red hair like that come from the Pyro Archon's land, the Muratons. So I'm gonna keep that tucked away.
Celestia. I'm not sure even I could fly that far. In any case, the water there tastes foul, and the fruit is bland. You know what that means. No cider. In that case, I wouldn't go there even if I was invited.
Sussy, Venti. I wonder if it's just the lack of cider.
My greatest wish? It has always been to roam free and experience the whole world. Now, I would add that wherever I go, it simply must be with you.
Aww.
Each day with you is an adventure, and where adventurers go, storytellers must follow.
That's so cute. It simply must be with you. That's really sweet.
I like to drink, and I like the wind. If only there were such a thing as wind-brewed cider. I'm actually highly allergic to cats. I start sneezing as soon as they enter the vicinity, and... apparently I can't even think about cats without sneezing. Do you think there's a cure for this monstrous affliction?
Well, I'll let you know if there is.
Here, have an apple. I just picked it. look how ripe and juicy it is. Truly the fruit of the gods.
Okay.
What's that tasty morsel you've got there? Ooh, a melted cheese pancake. A smelly, sticky, slimy, disgusting mess.
Ew, don't hate on cheese. I love cheese.
Quite delightful. So, could I get the same again tomorrow? And maybe the day after that? I'm so full. I'll have to pass on the post-meal fruits this time. I can't believe it, but I don't think I can stomach this. Oh boy, what a predicament. Someone once told me you're supposed to eat a cake on your birthday. Ta-da! Here's your birthday cake. It's apple-flavored. And here's a spoon. The cake didn't rise properly in the oven. That's why it looks more akin to an apple pie. Baking is really quite complicated.
Aw, he makes us a cake. Cute.
Whoa, what was that?
What? It's a rainbow?
Good work. Shall we repose for a moment with a tune? Shall it be a capriccio or a serenade? Come, sit with me. I've written a new poem. I call it Wind of the Traveler.
Ooh.
Though I've long since viewed this scenery a great many times, there is something different about seeing it again with you. Surely you're not still concealing some other wondrous abilities. Even if you were, it would simply further prove that my intuition is correct.
We are, I'm sure. I don't know if we're concealing it on purpose, but you never know.
Yahoo! Here we go. Brace yourselves. Think you can get away? Wouldn't gliding be faster?
These are cute.
Yahoo!
Yahoo! Okay.
Thank Barbados. Wait a minute.
Oh my gosh, Venti.
What a find! I wonder how many bottles this will be worth.
Oh.
I'm not in the mood for this. Oh dear. That was uncalled for.
Oh.
Let me try. Don't give up. Let me sleep a while.
Oh, interesting. Sleep is what he says when he's going down. Interesting.
Oh, no. My lyre is broken.
Okay, we don't need to listen to all of these.
Give me a moment to compose myself. Didn't keep you waiting, did I? Ready for a rehearsal?
Okay. Yeah, we don't need to listen to all the like hits taken sounds. Alrighty, let's see if he has, okay, no, he only has the one outfit. So there's no like extra dialogue for that. Okay, let's read his Teapot dialogue here. Idle quotes, okay.
You've come at long last. While I was waiting for you, I nearly finished penning quite a few poems. It's great, of course. I know that every detail here is the result of your hard work. I hold immense gratitude for all you've done.
I'm happy you like it
Yes,
here.
I love it. This place already has everything I want. Oh, I'm flattered that you asked for my thoughts. But you should be more confident in your own tastes. Here, you're the real deal protagonist. Try things with confidence and turn your ideas into reality. And if you ever run into trouble, I'll lend a helping hand.
Oh, that was cute.
Okay. My dearest companion, is there something you wish to tell me? My warrior, you've worked so hard. I understand how you feel. When you just can't find any more energy and the world falls into a haze. Even apples lose their sweet flavor. If you can get some quality shut-eye at this time, you'll feel a lot better when you wake up. Here, I'll lend you my shoulder.
That's so cute. What the heck? That's so sweet.
Many people may feel lost at times. After all, it's impossible for everything to happen according to your own wishes. At a time like this, Ask yourself what the most important thing is. Even if life's all in a jumble, you can sort it out as long as there's a whisper of the wind. Don't be afraid. I'm here.
Oh, Venti. Oh, wow.
At any rate, don't worry. Whenever you need me, I'll always be by your side.
That's so fucking cute. He's so fond and soft.
Let's hold a feast.
I wasn't expecting
Call up your
that.
good friends and I'll contribute a bottle of the finest wine from my collection. As for the location, let's just have it here. We can find a clear space and decorate it with benches, a porch, and beautiful fresh flowers. We need a theme? Then, hold on, let me think of one. Cheers! Pop! No, oh, I got it! Wishes for happiness. How's that? Sure, I'll sing along to a suite I haven't played in a long time. Any songs you want to hear? I can practice a bit beforehand. Of course, this won't take up much time. Oh yeah, can I trouble you to prepare one of your specialty dishes? Anything's fine. I like to eat any dish you make.
Aww.
Oh yeah, it'll definitely be lively.
I feel like it will be chaotic.
Making cheer from chaos is a staple of feasts. Don't worry, I'll properly organize it. All right, then let us officially start the preparations. What a joyous day! It calls for a drink to celebrate.
Good morning,
Morning.
Venti.
Going anywhere to play today? There are a lot of places I want to visit. Need a recommendation?
And this is when you say
I don't
goodnight.
want to sleep yet. Want to keep me company a bit longer? Or I'll keep you company?
Oh, he doesn't want to be by himself. I love these. Wow.
The park is one of the most pleasant places in the city. Most people taking a break there are relaxed and in pretty good spirits, so they're always willing to listen to a song or two. Let's work together to make this park even more beautiful.
Aw, that's cute.
Whoa, this orchard smells wonderful. The apples must be super big and juicy, and these bunches of grapes weighing down the dense vines. They'll become delicious wine one day. Why don't we sample some of these future wines? It can't hurt to enjoy them a little. Come on, open wide.
Wow, his Teapot dialogue is so, like, not intimate in, like, a weird way, but, like, just close. I love it. So this is probably not going to be as hefty of a section as you're expecting it to, because I know there's probably a lot of theories around Venti, but I simply just don't know enough of in-game lore, I think, yet, because I haven't played past event, I haven't watched past events. I obviously can't play them, unfortunately, but I will be watching them. I haven't watched them yet, and I know that there's probably, I'm going to do videos on the books of the game where I like read the books in game with you guys, and I'm assuming there's probably lore about that too, but since I haven't made my way through all the Inazuma World quests and stuff like that, I just don't feel like I have a full grasp on Venti's full effect on the whole Teapot plotline. I know he is very mysterious. I do think that he's involved in a lot more than we're shown. Like, I know only the last bit of his quest really got serious, and we really were shown this very somber side of Venti, but I think he really has a lot to do with how things shake up, because he says some really sus things sometimes, like our usual meeting place, and I guess you could brush that off and say like, oh, we meet there all the time, but Paimon mentions like, hey, we didn't know where that was, and I don't know, it's just odd. Also, Venti in his voice line also said, you know, oh, you don't remember me? Oh, that's okay. Well, we can hang out now, or something like that in his greeting, in his character voice lines. And that was very suspicious too. Like, what do you mean you don't remember me? So I definitely think that he's not letting on about a lot of things. And that leads me to believe that he's involved in a great many things that we don't have knowledge of yet. His involvement, because the wind is used in a lot of different terminology in the game, and referenced a lot, and it's used almost synonymously with things like time and like ferrying souls back to Mondstadt on the wind. Like, I don't know, there's something extra to Venti. Like, he's not just the god of like physical wind, like scientific wind, but there's more to it than that. But I'm not sure what the more is. Again, it has something to do, I think, with the souls of the people under maybe his protection, or in Mondstadt, like Mondstadt's people. I'm not sure. He seems to know us. And considering our sibling has said, I've already made my way through this world, maybe there's some sort of like, I don't know, a cycle or something. I don't know, but I think Venti's, whatever it is, Venti is has full knowledge of it, full knowledge. And this also kind of implies, at least to me, that Zhongli probably knows too. I haven't played his character quests yet, but from how he spoke and the fact that he's the oldest of the 7, and him and Venti were the original 2, leads me to believe that he's in on some stuff. He knows some shit. And I think Venti does too. And I think there's probably a reason why he isn't sharing it. But yet is adamant about staying with us and staying by our side and recording what we do. I think that's probably more significant than maybe some people gather. He really wants to record what we go through, or our experiences. He's always asking us to share our stories. He's always wanting to write ballads about us. And as I'm gathering too, his ballads hold greater meaning than just simply songs. Like, I know he probably has just simple songs that he sings, but Barbara's mentioned this in the voice lines about Venti, and Venti himself has mentioned that his ballads hold significance that is maybe not as immediately apparent in terms of their weight, or maybe their effect on him or the people he's singing about, or the memory of who he's singing about, and the way that carries forward and what that maybe implies. I mean, I don't know. There's so much that we don't know about Venti. I think he's probably one of the most mysterious characters that I've met so far. And granted, I haven't spent a lot of time with a lot of the characters yet, because I have yet to play their character quests. But to me, I think Venti will remain one of the most mysterious characters to date. And I think every new piece of lore we do find out, even if it doesn't directly relate to Venti, I think we'll circle back to him, or at least Mondstadt and his ties to Mondstadt, because his ascension to godhood and then becoming the Archon is very peculiar, and his roots as this elemental being. In the wiki it said elf, but in the game it called him an elemental being, so I'm not sure if those are synonymous or if that was just, I don't know, a translation thing. You guys can let me know if you know anything about that, or if that's a theory within itself, the elf tie-in or the elemental being thing. I did notice in the cutscene he was like this little floating tissue. And it was very cute. But I really am curious about that time in his life where he was just a wisp, and he said his purpose was to just be the small breeze that brought about little change, but good change, kind of spreading the seeds of hope. And I think he's still ultimately doing that. That's still kind of what he does. He tries to inspire people. He values humanity. I think of the gods that we've met, or the Archons, I should say, he probably has the deepest understanding of humans. Even Zhongli, who he definitely values humanity, but I don't think he understands it in the same way that Venti does. And I don't know if that's because Venti was so closely tied with, I feel like part of what makes humans human is this rebelliousness, this push to want better for ourselves, to create, to imagine, to push and push for something better, or what we want, our desires, we would like to manifest them. And there's something very human about that, and Venti being directly tied to that rebellion, I don't know, I think maybe it affected him and changed him. And obviously when he lost his friend, the bard, the original bard I should say, and Amos as well, though she wasn't mentioned in the game like verbally. We learned more about her in the wiki, but the bard had a vast impact on Venti, and so much so that the first thing he did when he became a god was to endeavor to be a human, to become him, and to honor his friend and experience the world as his friend would have. And I think that there is something very humble about that, and very profound and sincere in a way that we haven't seen in any of the other Archons. Like Raiden Shogun's probably the opposite of Venti, and not necessarily she's evil, I'm not saying that, but I think she's the complete opposite of Venti in her ability to understand humans and humanity, because I think Venti really does love humans in the sense that he doesn't want to interfere. He doesn't want to assert dominance or control. That's like his thing, right? That's his one rule. That's the thing he will never, that's the line he will never cross. So I'm curious to see how maybe that aspect of him and that principle he holds to himself to. I wonder if that will carry into the future in some way, or if we learn more lore when I do, maybe if there's heavier lore about the past in the Inazuma World quests or any other character quests, I'll be able to come back to this and kind of give myself some extra context. But yeah, so far, I know, I'm sorry, I know there's probably a lot of theories about Venti, and I will be doing an update video on these characters once I learn more. But as of right now, this is all the information I have, and I can't wait. I can't wait to learn more. Okay, Venti the Bard. Let's just start by saying I think Venti genuinely has a core to his character that is strikingly unique to not just the other Archons, but just I think any character in general. Like, he feels very separate from what the Traveler is going through, but not like adjacent. He definitely seems to come with us, to be with us in every sense of that phrase. He just wants to be by our side. He says so multiple times. He wants to accompany us. He wants us to be happy. Like, he wishes us happiness, which is something, again, that not very many people, like not just the Archons, but just not very many characters have expressed to Lumine or the Traveler if you play Aether. And I think that that's very significant because he's one of the only characters who is adamant about making sure we kind of prioritize ourselves sometimes. And he wants to honor us, and he wants us to be in his ballads, and he wants to boast about our stories. And he's always wanting to be the shoulder we can lean on if we need it. And I don't know, there's just something very humble and very homely about that. And I think when I first met Venti, I remember being so suspicious. And I think I'm still wary of maybe what possibly he was involved with, maybe in terms of Celestia. And we're still unsure about his situation with Conria. So we still have yet to learn the details on that. But I think Venti has won me over in terms of his voice lines. And yes, maybe he is not always outwardly honest about things, but I think from what he's been through, and at least what he's shared with us, assuming what he shared with us is the truth, I don't know. I think I trust in his goodness. I trust in this principle that he has, that he does not want to interfere. He does not want to override or dictate or assert anything over us in terms, or not just us as in the Traveler, but humans in general. I think that is a quality that is unique, because the other Archons, even Zhongli, very much so asserted themselves over their populace. And Zhongli, of course, he wasn't like tyrannical, at least when we met him. I don't know about how he was in the past. I'm assuming we'll learn more about that in his character quests. But even Zhongli has been known to definitely assert himself over his people, even in service of them, but still he did that. And so I think it's very peculiar, Venti's take, because it's so different. It is so different than the other Archon's approach to being an Archon. And even his beginnings, he has very humble godhood beginnings. If the story about him being a little elemental wisp is to be believed, he has a different, I guess, coming of age story, God edition, than maybe the other two gods did that we have met. Zhongli, I'm assuming it was something that he earned by brute force? I don't know. Venti mentioned that he called Zhongli a brutish something or other, so maybe he was exaggerating. But yeah, that's, I think, Venti's entire core of just wanting to fight for our right to choose as humans, I think is very special in Teapot, especially since a lot of the time I feel like for Lumine, it doesn't ever feel like she's making her own choices sometimes, especially after we encountered our sibling and he was saying, oh, well, I already went through all this. Like he implied it was kind of like a cycle, and that our choices, not that they don't matter, but it feels like everything's being chosen for us. There's already a plan, we have no control over things, and that lack of control, I think, got to Lumine at the start of Inazuma when she was like shutting everybody down. She didn't want to help anybody. She was kind of in a panic, this internal conflict she had, and the idea that Venti is the one being of power that is saying, no, you choose. You should have the right to choose. I will never overstep those bounds. I am simply here to enrich you and to inspire you and to be by your side when you need me. And I don't know, there's something very special about that. And I don't think that should be lost. I think that should be something that people recognize about Venti. And I think I'm telling myself to remember that too when we inevitably learn more about him in the future, either in what's already released or in the future when we learn more about Conria and all that stuff. I hope that this warmth that Venti has remains, and that it doesn't turn out to be a lie, because if it is, my heart will actually shatter because I have found myself growing very attached to Venti, very, very attached to Venti. I think in terms of his relationships, I think his relationships have very much defined him. And I know relationships define us in general, like as people, but I think Venti specifically learned a lot about humanity and what he currently values. I think he garnered not from some Celestia's principles or whatever that is, because we don't know anything about that. Venti actually doesn't seem to like Celestia very much. He values Teapot in the mortal world over Celestia, it seems. But his values seemed to come from his experience with humans, not an overarching ideal he feels he must inflict on us mortals. You know what I mean? And I think that's also what makes him very unique, is that he's not the god of contracts. He's not, the god of storms like the Raiden Shogun is, who wants to maintain this impossible idea of eternity. His principle comes and is born directly from his experience and his relationships with humans. They shaped him, and he shapes them in turn. And I think there's a very interesting symbiotic I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say. Relationship between him and Mondstadt. And I think that's very interesting, you know, considering he's so hands-off and Paimon likes to tease that he's lazy, and a lot of characters take cracks at Venti, at least as they know him as the bard, and his drinking and stuff. But I think at his core, Venti is wanting to honor mortals the way he learned to, and the way he always, I hope, will. His thing with the drinking, I'm not sure if it's a goof, like it's just a quirk of his character, or if there's something more to it than that, because anybody who engages in heavy substance abuse, there's usually something that's going on. There's usually a reason why they resort to that. And maybe Venti, I don't know, maybe he knows, like I said, maybe in my theories bit, maybe he knows stuff, and it's hard for him to bear that burden, because I don't know, I think being the sole person to maybe have full clarity on something, assuming Venti does, that would be a heavy burden to bear. And I don't know. I think maybe there is a tie-in with that, or maybe he just drinks and it's just the character quirk, because he's an Archon and it doesn't really matter because he's not fully mortal. I mean, who knows? But I think it'd be interesting to kind of dive deeper into that element of his character if we learn more about him in the future, and if the drinking ends up being an actual, you know, plot device. Who knows? Or maybe alcohol, and because he perked up about the Mondstadt vintage that Jack had promised him, and maybe that was just again played for laughs, or maybe there's a significance to that I don't have context about because I haven't played the events yet, or like maybe because the wine industry is like a huge part of Mondstadt, and I'm wondering if maybe Venti had some sort of, he established that as a tradition, or I don't know, because apparently, like with Decabrian, I really don't think he was he founded the wine industry. I think the wine industry flourished after his demise, and when Venti was in play and he made all the lands fertile. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. I'm excited to learn more about that, and the fact that Venti terraformed the land. There is something so intimidating about that. Like, that's God. That's a god. You know, that's like godly level shit. And I know he's an Archon, like he is a god, but he is so humble all the time and always downplaying his abilities until he's not. Until, like, the end of his quest, he just pulls this absolute divine intervention thing, and it just takes you by surprise because Venti works so hard to, at least in my opinion, he works so hard to remain unintrusive or just underestimated, really. But then he does shit like this, and you're like, holy shit. And there's like this weight behind his words and what he says and his actions, and it just, I don't know, it just takes you by surprise, and I'm wondering if that will if that will happen again. I'm sure it will. But him, like, with the wind alone terraforming mountains, like, I know Lumine and Paimon had voice lines kind of joking about that, but that's serious. Like, that's serious. I mean, Zhongli was doing that. He was bringing down literal mountains and thrusting pillars into the sea, and Venti was doing the same shit, you know, like with the wind. So I don't know, that's pretty major, and I think a lot of people maybe forget that Venti is just as capable, if not equal or more powerful. Who knows? He was one of the original 7, so, and the only Anemo Archon is what they said. So I don't know. I don't know. I hope to see more from Venti. I have grown just indiscriminately fond of him. Especially his Teapot dialogue was just so sweet. And I hope that it's not all a lie. I hope it's not. I hope it's real. I hope it's true. Even if maybe circumstances are the lie in some way, that the core of his interactions with us is true. You know, that remains the same regardless of what ends up happening. So again, I am very excited to learn more about Venti. I'm excited to watch these events. I really just want to know more about him in general. I want to know more about his past when he was a wisp and what his origins are. And maybe his origins is connected to this weird sense of this cycle, this repetitive nature that our sibling was talking about, and him seemingly knowing us already or something, which is very suspicious. So Venti is mysterious, but I think ultimately he is benevolent. And I don't see that changing. I think there is even possibly a self-sacrificing element to Venti as well. I cannot wait to see that all play out. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. If you did, as always, I very much appreciate you spending your time with me. I'm just gonna address this right out. I know I was pronouncing, like when I originally recorded this and I was editing this, I realized I was pronouncing, I was saying Decabrian, and I'm pretty sure that's not how you say it. Like I was when I was re-recording my screen for the wiki to match the audio so you guys could read the actual paragraphs on screen, I realized that I was like, wait, I don't think I'm saying that right. I think it's Decabrian or Decabrian or something like that, not Decabrian. I was missing a letter or something in there, so that probably annoyed the shit out of you, and I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry about that, but I wasn't gonna go back and re-record every single time I said that word, so y'all are just gonna have to deal with it. But I do recognize that I was most likely saying that incorrectly, so I apologize for that. I'm so excited to share my future thoughts about Venti with you, because I do go and do videos on the books. I do watch all the events, and I do play all the character quests, so there is a lot of content to come, so I'm excited to share those with you. Again, I know that there are a lot of theories about Venti, and with Sumeru currently out, there's a lot of a lot of new things to recontextualize, so please do not think that these are my final thoughts on or theories when it comes to Venti, because Venti and time are almost braided together. So yes, that will all be readdressed at some point. The link for the Discord is down in the description, as well as the link to my Patreon page if you would like to support me, and all my socials as well. We are talking about TCG in the server, and all the new quests and stuff for Sumeru. So if you would like to come chat about those and share your thoughts and theories, or just talk about TCG, or find maybe someone to play TCG with, please don't hesitate to stop in, because we're all very chill, very friendly, and we all just want to have a good time. So definitely check that out if you haven't already. My next video should be out very soon. I will see you guys next time.